Very excited to have my next guest back on the program. She has a lot to share with us. A new EP dropped over the summer called The Arrival, Kah-Lo. There she
Hello.
is.
Hi.
I didn't even recognize you at first. Who is this person?
Oh, she's like shaving and all of that.
The green hair is gone.
But still all the green accessories, but I don't know what to do with them, so I have to wear them.
Yeah. Oh, you look fantastic. Uh,
Thank you.
thanks so much for doing this. I think that you are in New York or somewhere on the East Coast.
I am in New York. I'm in Brooklyn at home.
Yes.
Finally got back to traveling, so it's like nice to finally not unpack.
I can imagine. Gosh, there's so much to catch up on. There's so many things that have happened since we last spoke. We were just catching up off camera about our first meeting at Snow Globe
Yeah.
2019.
That was, and I was like, I remember with my 2020 glasses on, I was like, 2020 is about to be incredible. And I'm just
Right.
right. That was my last show
That
before.
was our last festival. That was basically, the last big event for me at the very least. I mean, we have this bond now where we can say,
Yeah,
before the madness of 2020,
you're my
Snow
last.
Globe, craziness. And I'm very curious for people that make electronic music and focus on events that really involve a lot of audience participation and really thrive on the audience feedback. How has the last duration really affected you? How have you been able to handle it?
I mean, a lot of people got by, especially in the electronic scene, by like DJing and stuff. But I'm not a DJ. I did learn over lockdown, and I tried it out, and I was like, I do not like this. So I was like, nope, 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 nope. So it was really, really tough. It's like, oh Lord, I thrive on attention. I need it to survive. And there just wasn't any of it. It was really tough. It was really, really, really tough. I will say that. And it was just like I didn't know what to do. But we thank the Lord. We came out of it. And I learned a lot about myself. And I was like, you know what? I don't even like hair. It was
Ah,
all off. Yeah.
it's interesting you say that because I did catch a couple of your Instagram lives and you were in your kitchen and it was like a Friday or something, like it's Friday, we're gonna party, and you had music blaring and things like that. So, and now you're on TikTok too.
Yeah, I was doing the TikToks. I'm trying to keep up with it. It's like it's so much work. It's like just this wonderful 15-second clip, but it's a lot of work, for the ones I like to make. So I'm just like, good.
Obviously, things have changed to the career side of things. You were
Yeah,
signed to a major label. Congratulations, Epic Records.
yeah. So
Was
that
that
was
already was that already in the works prior to our encounter at Snow Globe 2020 2019?
not really. I mean, I was talking to people around the time, but I didn't have anything quite set. And COVID happened, and no one knew. Like, no one has ever, lived through a pandemic before, and so it's just like no one knew. Like, are we supposed to be releasing music? Should we not? It was just a very, very weird time. Especially with all the protests also that followed up um, after that. That was very tough for me, and it was a very, very weird, scary, generally weird time. So it was just like the Epic thing didn't even happen until I want to say like August, September. It happened. Yeah. And then yeah, we started working on stuff, and some of the stuff on there I've had just in the drives
Yeah.
since I think the oldest song on there is that the first track, Ouch, that I recorded in 2017.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was just tracks that I just been sitting on.
You
And then
really dug deep for that one.
yeah. Yeah, because I mean it is a good track, and it's like I always loved it, and it's just so it's so like it just hits you. It's a very striking track. And I was
Right.
like, it has to open. Like I wanted to show my direction of like, okay, I've always done like features. I've never done dance music the way I would like to do it. So it was, and that's why I called it The Arrival, because I was just like, as I am, and how I would make dance music. So There we
So
go.
it's very curious. You have all this material that you've been sitting on. I'm sure you were also creating during the tumultuous events of last year as well. And you just touched on the protests and things like that. As someone that grew up outside of the US, came
Hmm.
here at a young age and assimilated, right, as a teenager, and now living through this as an adult,
Yeah.
I'm very curious. What was your perspective? What is your perspective of those sociopolitical events? Because we've heard so many dialogues.
Yeah, that is a good question. That's a good question. It is strange for sure because I don't even think I was fully aware of it until the Trayvon thing happened. Because it's like, I mean, like growing up in Nigeria, everyone around you was black, so it's just like there's no racism, and it's like, how it's like here, it's like, oh, we need representation, but it's like I always saw myself on TV, and then it's like I came here, didn't even realize there were all these like nuances and pockets and weird isms, colorisms, and all of that until I came here and I started, picking up on them. And even till now, there's still some things that I, pick up on, like just that because they're not familiar to me entirely. So whatchamacallit, I did it was weird because I was in Brooklyn, the protests are happening right outside, and it's like also as an immigrant, you're like, oh, you don't want to go because you're also an immigrant, and it's like so many things that just going through your mind. It's very weird for sure.
In a way, it was like you had to catch up to learn about American history and understand why these things have been happening,
Yeah,
and so forth,
yeah.
right?
Whereas, like, if you grew up here, they teach you that in high school. They glance through it and they glance over it back home. So it's just like, okay, and then you come here and you realize it's still like, even the civil rights movement, all of that stuff. It's like wild when you think about it, that's not even that long ago.
Shifting back to your music, you are definitely enlightened now. I feel like you have now
Yes.
all this confidence and you have stories to tell. With the arrival already out, I'm sure there's other music that we should expect, right?
Oh yes, I just came back from a month in LA, just doing that every single day, and it was so nice to be back. But it was also like crazy because I feel like it's like the best music I've ever made in my life. So proud of it. So I'm very excited for that. I mean, the arrival is still like, I just found out it's like top 15 dance radio, and that's very exciting. And it's still like doing what it's doing, and
Right.
and I'm here excited about this next chapter, even though this chapter hasn't even closed yet, but it's pretty cool.
Since your music is so joyful and definitely embodies a lot of the influences that you grew up with, right? I feel like there's still a lot of African, influences and Nigerian influences, and we've spoken about this in the past. How do you see music as you make it now that you've lived here for quite some time?
Hmm. It's well, because okay, so like dance music specifically, I didn't really know much about until I met Breton. So it was very interesting to dive into the throes of deep house and acid house and tech house. Like I didn't know all these subgenres existed. So it was very interesting to learn about that and eventually grow to appreciate it, because when I was trying to make music initially, I did like dance music did not even cross my mind until, I got in there and, went to the raves and and I was like, oh, this is cool. Lots of drugs, but it's
Right. You're already recording new music, as you mentioned here, right? So is this an extension of the arrival, or is this kind of the next level?
ooh, it's like an in between. I want to say, okay, let me describe it like this because I love to use metaphors. I want to say the arrival was a bridge, right? It was a bridge from all the stuff that I was doing. Because honestly, at heart, I'm a pop girl. I love to make pop music. So it's like I'm trying to bridge it because, like I said, I've grown to appreciate it. So the arrival is like, okay, this is dance music if I were to make it in my style, right? And then this next project is then going to be the highway of, okay, we're now on a journey of who I am and how I like to, navigate a dance floor and the world and, create a sonic journey of all of that. I hope that makes sense.
The sun is out, the top is down, we're cruising, no traffic.
Exactly. Highway, just endless road. That's what we're doing.
Amazing. Well, hey, thanks so much for doing this. I really appreciate it and good to see you.
Problem. It's so good to see you. Always lovely chatting.